Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the On and Off podcast. Obviously joined by Adsy. Thanks for coming, mate.
What is it now? 10 episodes now that we're still together and you haven't ditched me off?
Well, someone ditched us today.
I know.
Someone
How
ditched us
disappointing.
big time today. So Arthur Jones, bit of a shout out. We normally love him, but today we're very disappointed in him. We actually organised this podcast to be at the club, so it was even easier for him to jump on. And yeah, he sprung us late with
Let's talk about that. When did he tell us that he wasn't jumping on?
literally 5 minutes ago.
So he's come out he's messaged me saying he can't come on, and then he's come out and he was almost like the little brother apologising to his bigger brother, saying, "I'm so sorry. Can we come on next time?"
I think he's nervous that we're not going to get him back on again. So
no, we'll get him on.
We'll
For those out there, if you did watch the VFL game, please, if you didn't, please make sure you go out there and watch his goal that he kicked, because he gave arguably one of the greatest celebrations of all time.
We just watched it in the meeting, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We do those, what are they called, like bounds in the gym.
Yeah.
This week he doesn't need to do it because he did it in the game.
Well, you celebrate a goal as good as anybody, and he did that a couple of times on the weekend, but
yeah,
his celebration was right up there.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty funny.
No, it was good, but it's been a good couple of weeks, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. So we probably should talk about why we had a bit of a week off. We're looking at probably doing one of these at least every fortnight. Moving more into the YouTube sort of world. Yeah, the vlogging stuff, which I'm sure everyone out there is enjoying, and we're enjoying ourselves, aren't we?
Well, yeah, it's kind of been recommended for us to do some video content, and that's where kind of the potty started with, firstly actually doing the potty and then streaming it on a podcast website or whatever it may be, and then integrating the video to see us, and then it's kind of expanded into what we do and things that we can do and the banter that we bounce off each other. So, yeah, I think that's probably the thing that I'm excited about the most, to be honest, because I like that people can get an insight into just what we do. And I think that first video that we did, we've obviously only done 2 videos, but the first one that we did kind of got a lot more traction than I personally thought we were going to get. Not that we were sitting there watching the views, but when I went back to it and seeing that it had gone up by the thousands, it was like, wow, actually people take a keen interest in us.
Yeah, it's a bit different to the old podcast app where you jump on there and look at the downloads you get every week.
I know. It's easy to see.
Stuff's kicked off. So
and then yeah, obviously there's ideas that we have, but we would, I know you get you're the one you're pretty much you're the
admin.
Unofficial producer, admin / do everything. I don't do anything.
I just say meet here, this time, this place. You're like, your reply is just like,
yep,
no worries.
Oh, shut up.
I just do all the work, man.
I'll take a love heart here and there.
Oh, yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, we would love to know what people would want us to do and things that they want to see. Potentially could be footy related stuff or stuff that we do. Outside of footy, we did some filming just recently on just some funny stuff that we do, challenges that we do, and we might integrate that into a few things. But we are, I think, as we've spoken about, we're a lot more than just footy players, and like I said, it'd be cool for people to send us through some ideas to potentially
absolutely.
what we may want to do, outside of footy and what every day is like. So I'm getting really hot right now. It is a really hot room, but the only reason I wore this for the first minute or 2 minutes of the potty is because I love it. You like it?
It's not bad, but it's a bit warm in here, so I'd probably take it off if I was
I'm going to take it off. But the amount of comments that I get about, I think this is a vintage one from, what's that place up the road? It's Charlie's Closet.
Are you going to shout out?
Is it Charlie's Closet?
Is this the first time you've ever given a shout out or what?
Yeah, I'm trying to take a leaf from your book. I'm trying to take a leaf from your book and give shout outs. We actually, I'd love to know from just our listeners who listen to us. We had Jack ask us if we had a joint account.
Oh, a bank account, yeah.
So we had a joint bank account, and we both had access to whatever money was in there, and say it was an unlimited amount of money. Who would go out there and buy extravagant stuff and spend more?
Well, I definitely think there'd be a few transactions at 1 a.m. On Chapel Street somewhere.
Are you on Chapel, are you?
No,
because I'm not there. Village Balmain, St Kilda, that's where it's really fun.
Oh, you always end up down there, don't you?
Yeah, but that's not... Yeah, after a really good win, enjoy myself and get out with my friends, mate. It's nice to have a bit of balance in your life, isn't it?
I'll put you on the spot here, have I?
Well, you haven't. No,
you're warming up a little bit over there. Jeez, you're sweating, mate.
Yeah, that's from the jacket, mate. I like to go out and enjoy myself.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had a beer?
I had one on Sunday after my 100th game.
When was the last time you had more than 2 beers?
Yeah, not for a while.
Ultimate professional, this bloke.
Well, I haven't really had a chance. Oh,
Fair,
Easter time actually.
fair.
Easter time I had more than 2 beers, but it wasn't. I've sort of found a happy medium, having a few, and then
If you're this is just an alcohol question. If you're out, I'll say you go out and you want to have a few, have a bit of fun post granny.
Yep.
Because one of my mates, he just loves beer and doesn't change from beer. If you're out, do you keep drinking beer or do you get on, I don't know, like the vodka sodas or something?
it's a good question because if I go out to dinner or go to a bar,
Yeah.
I might start off with beer, but then there's a certain point where it gets to hang on.
It's disgusting.
That's your point right at the start, isn't it?
Yeah,
straight on there.
I'll stay on the body sodas, mate.
Yeah, why?
Good for the skinnies. No, it's pretty funny because I got a mate out there. I would have been last year for one of my other mates' birthday. Big Razor, Big Razor, and he actually loves it. He loves a mention on Razor Sharp Constructions. Make sure you give it a follow. We were out. I don't know where we were. We were out on Chapel Street, as you said. We were having a birthday celebration, and there was probably 6 or 7 of us.
You're telling me now that you are on Chapel Street.
Yeah, I was
said Village
joking.
Bell.
I was joking.
Oh, okay.
I occasionally go to Chapel
Continue.
Street. There's
Yeah,
a couple
it's all
nice bars out there.
Okay.
Anyway, we're on Chapel Street, and there was about 6 or 7 of us, and it would have been, I'd say 11:30, 12 o'clock, and I've gone up to order around because I like shouting for everyone. I was just waiting for him to say something. It's true. What are you saying that for?
I was actually quite zoned out because I was just thinking you were going to go on one of those rants again or just continue to start talking shit. like Kimmy just told us on the phone.
Oh, true.
She reckons that
Yeah,
you talk
true.
shit.
So I was ringing Kimmy up and going, what did I say? She goes, who's a guest?
Yeah.
And I've gone, the guest has pulled out. And she goes, what are you going to do? I was like, we're just going to talk shit. She goes, oh yeah, you do that well, don't you?
Yeah.
You do too.
That's a bit of a chink in your armour, isn't it?
It is, but it's a good chink to have.
You're off to a bad start today, aren't you?
No, I'm having a really
You're
good
hot.
time. It is really hot in here.
Kimmy gave you some honest feedback.
Yeah, well, can I continue my story?
Yeah, okay.
So anyway, back to the beer v Voddy seltzers, Voddy sodas. So there's about 7 of us, and Ray loves his beer, and we've ordered the drinks. I've gone, can I get? How funny would this sound to a bartender at 12 o'clock? Can I get? I'll get 2 vodka sodas, 3 vodka raspberries, 1 cider. Oh, can I get a Carlton Draft too at the same time whilst everyone's dancing around? You reckon that's weird?
That is weird because
by that stage, who wants a beer?
Yeah, I'm with that, and that was Razor. Really,
he loves it.
That's interesting.
He loves it. There was no beers last year during our celebration. You were going to it wasn't a celebration. It was a celebration of the year post granny.
Of the season, yeah.
It was a good time. But you said to me that on our on and off potty, you're going to put that funny photo that apparently that is of me that with all the alcohol spilt down.
Well, to be honest, I've actually got a few photos of you being sent through lately. One lookalike last weekend.
Oh, that is a great look. I spotted him.
Yeah, so this guy just randomly came up to you and...
No, I spotted him.
Oh, so you walked up to him?
I walked up to him.
On Chapel Street?
No, we're in St Kilda in Village Bell.
Okay. And you just thought he looked the same?
Well,
and you then went and asked your mum, didn't you?
I called me mum. I called mum and said, Mum, what's going on here? There's a guy that looks like me. But no, it was pretty funny. He actually did look like me. That was a good night.
Yeah, it was. But now, moving on, we should talk about footy because we do a lot of that and we want to touch on it because it's been a couple of weeks since we last spoke on the podcast. But good win on the weekend over the Bombers.
Well,
disappointing the week before.
More importantly, it was someone's milestone.
Yeah, it was.
And it was a good week, wasn't it?
It was a good week. It was a bit of a disappointing start to the week because we lost the week before
to
to the Crows, who were pretty good.
Yeah.
They were pretty good in Ballarat. They stopped us from playing our game and then we weren't able to, I suppose, hit the scoreboard and bring the ball to ground at times in our forward line. So we struggled against them, but then came out on the weekend all guns blazing and, it was good. It was a good game.
Well, I think I said one of the most pleasing things is the connection going inside 50 that you just touched on. Adelaide had something like 28 intercept marks against us, which I don't know if that's a record or anything, but it felt like a lot. Even when we were out there playing, it felt like so much. And obviously that was something we wanted to, put on notice for the week. And I felt like the connection going inside 50 was a lot better. And I also felt like both teams, I know Essendon's clearly under the pump now, but, there was a bit of heat put on us as well because been a pretty inconsistent start to the year, and there's been games and opportunities where we probably should have won. The most pleasing thing is we were able to do that and execute that. And that obviously starts around the footy and the pressure around the ball. And you spent quite a bit of time up forward, and it was good. It was good to see. You were bearing the square a couple of times and got a cut with Joe the Gooses over the top.
Yeah, I didn't mind it, actually.
The boundary line shot wasn't a Joe the Goose.
You actually looked at me at one point and was like, do you want to swap?
I did.
You wanted to come down to full forward. And
I actually wanted to play out of the square too. And you were like, nope, no way. Nah, but it was a great week, obviously. And I said this on radio throughout the week that when teammates play milestone games, and the week before we obviously had Tim O'Brien and Steph Martin play a milestone game, and we weren't able to win. It's always disappointing. It hurts that little bit more for me personally, because you want to win for your teammates in those special games, and the fact that we were able to do that for you as well and win the way that we did was very pleasing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, to look back now and obviously, like you mentioned, winning games of footy in your milestone game. I think I won my 50th and won my 100th. So
who was your 50th against?
Richmond.
Oh, was that at Marvel?
Yes.
Was that when Naughty took like 11 contested marks?
Yeah, that game? That was that night when Naughty was sort of born.
That was when. It would have been from when we went from defender to forward.
That was his first game.
I remember that game because that was right in the middle of Richmond being the powerhouse that they would become, and still are. They're still obviously right up there as one of the best teams in the competition.
We knocked them off by, I think it was like 40 points or something. So
I remember watching that. And that was the thing. I remember I used to, like, when obviously I used to watch Bulldogs from afar, you'd always have a game like where you just annihilated a team that was just unbelievable. Yeah. But then you'd have a game where it just slip up.
Yep.
And the inconsistency would creep in. So I just thought I'd put that out there as a point. But no, I feel like off the back of the performance that we've had, I feel like we're heading in the right direction. We've clearly got a great opportunity this week against Port Adelaide, who now they've won 2 games in a row. The heat's off them a little bit. They're clearly going to have, it's going to be a hostile environment for us. We've experienced it. Last year's prelim final was one of the, great games that we've been a part of.
I want to talk about the heat on us as players, and you just mentioned Port then, how they've had 2 wins in the last couple of weeks. But for us, you touched on it before about the, being obviously 2 and 4 coming into this week. But then how do you manage your expectations? What are the things that we think about and do inside the 4 walls at the footy club? I think it'd be good to talk to everyone about that out there.
Well, yeah, I think that firstly you look at how we're playing and, what's going wrong. And I was, throughout the week we'd have meetings and talk about, clearly where we're falling down. And the most pleasing thing for me, and again, being around for a long time, I've been able to see this both ways, is it wasn't a lack of effort thing. It wasn't a lack of, where we're playing out a role where we're playing selfish footy pretty much. And I've been a part of, I guess, periods where that's been the case. So that was probably the most pleasing thing, because it's like, well, we're doing a lot right. We're actually, we're playing the way we want to play. We're just not executing. We're not executing how we want to, I guess, execute. We're not kicking the ball well. We're not connecting with our forwards well. We're doing things where it's execution-based. It's not effort-based. It's not a lack of not wanting to do it for your teammate. We had great clips shown throughout the week against the Adelaide game where, there was just really good clips of players.
Selfless stuff.
Doing selfless stuff and, going into then the next week. That gives me great confidence that it's going to turn, because in terms of execution, we work extremely hard on the fundamentals of the game, the skills of the game. I've spoken about how it blows my mind from when I first got to the footy club how much we work on our hands, and that's clearly shown out there on the ground. So that gave me great confidence going into the game of the weekend, now leading into the rest of the season, because like I said, we're not doing a lot wrong. Yeah.
So what about the exterior noise? So the media. Last week was probably one of our biggest weeks of copping a fair bit of slack from the media. How does that impact yourself and us as a group, do you reckon? Do you reckon a lot of boys read media?
I don't think so. To be honest with you, coming from Collingwood, it's nothing like it. Like, it's nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it. Well, in terms of, I think the scrutiny that you cop.
Oh yeah, as a footy club.
Being around like reporters and journalists who are just always at the footy club. Like, you barely see people at our footy club. You barely see them waiting around for an interview. When I was at the Pies, I would say
every day.
Well, yeah, every day there's someone there, but maybe once a week I'm doing a chat with a reporter if things aren't going well. And here, kind of don't really get that. We know there's pressure on us. But, yeah, like you asked, in terms of personally how I felt, I never really felt any. I didn't feel any added pressure. I didn't feel, we really got to get the ball rolling here because we're going to cost ourselves, because I look at our body of work and what we've put in, not only just over the preseason, but over the last, 12 months, how we've been able to get ourselves in positions where we've faced a lot of adversity and really set our season up. And that just gave me great confidence. What about you? What about you?
Sorry, before I answer that, do you think that the playing groups are different in terms of, Collingwood probably expect a lot of media, know there's going to be a lot of media.
Good question. I know what you're saying.
Whereas here, like you mentioned, it's not as much, so guys probably don't think about it. Is it different in terms of different clubs?
Yeah, it's a good question, Robbo. Jeez, he's
you know what?
Really hard-hitting question.
Someone reckons that I sound like Damien Barrett on this podcast. I got a message.
Ooh, I can't think of what Damien Barrett sounds like.
Someone sent me a message saying,
really?
That sounds like Damien Barrett on this podcast.
Is that a positive or a negative for you?
I think I've got my own voice, don't I?
Yeah. Well, I know your voice when you call. No, it is a good question because the boys. Well, yeah, you wouldn't. Well, I would ask you the same question because you've been here. Well, what's this? Sixth year now, 7th year.
Yeah, 7th year.
So you would have been through. You've literally would have gone through all the emotions of being here. You've won a premiership. You've had a down year. Blah blah blah. So how is it for you? Because you have seen it. All I've ever seen here about this footy club is no scrutiny, no media attention in terms of like walking into the footy club and seeing it, and that's all I'm used to. Do you know what I mean? So how do you view it? Because you don't see people waiting outside our offices or anything and waiting to interview us or talk to us about what's going on. That's kind of how I see it. It's hard to judge it.
Yeah, the craziest time it's ever been like really full on was the grand final week, really, in 2016.
Oh, 16. Well, there you go.
So that was the most media we've ever seen here, ever. And then other times it's mainly when, someone's either, I don't know, struggling with form or contract negotiations or something like that where it's, people are here and want to know more about the person or player. But, yeah, like you said, it's just we just get used to not having anyone here. And then when you do see someone out the front, it's like, oh.
You know what? It is a bit like that. Even I got a bit like that.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, I wanted to know whether or not, because I don't think boys here would take notice of the media too much because of that reason. But then if you're at a big club like Collingwood or, your Essendons or your Carltons and Port Adelaides and West Coast and stuff like that, whether or not they would obviously see the media there that day, so then they read about it that afternoon or whatever it might be.
Yep.
It's an interesting one.
Have you been a part of, so obviously Essendon are copping quite a bit right now. Have you been in that position before? Been here?
Where we're copping a lot of slack? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, probably early 2017.
Yep.
But it wasn't, like we were obviously losing games of footy after winning the flag the year before, so that was pretty intense. That's when I did my shoulder. So I was sort of in and out at different times, but yeah, some of the boys were copping it pretty hard.
As players, so you obviously, again, another question, you would have experienced that, and as from a player perspective, that's challenging, eh? Do you think it'd be really challenging for the boys over at the Bombers, like being able to mentally rock up to training and
absolutely, and
deal with the struggles?
We get little tastes of it here and there. Like we mentioned, like last week, we probably had the most media scrutiny that we've had for quite a while, and you feel for those guys because you know what they're going through, and it's not what they're doing. It's sort of just not clicking for them at the moment, and that's where we talk about it all the time. Like, you got to trust what you're doing is right, and then eventually things will turn around. Whereas I think the media just love getting on the back of someone and just drilling them. So it's a hard one. It's a really hard one for those guys, and like I said, do feel for them at times, and hopefully we don't find ourselves in that position. Well,
we won't, because we're going to really hit our straps here. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit because I genuinely feel for him. And now on social media at the moment and my news, when I swipe left and go to the news, it's just all sport, footy, and you see Essendon's under the pump, and it just makes me think of the players and the people that they are, because I've been in that position before where being a part of a big, powerful club in Collingwood, and we haven't started the year off well, and we're really struggling. the amount that carries over into your everyday life, it can end up being a real downer and really a hard period to get out of. And yeah, I just feel for them. I feel like it's a big challenging time for them. I feel like their character will stand up, and I wish them well. Like, I want them to do well, because I spoke to a couple of boys out there, and I'm not going to name names, but you could just tell after the game that they were just really flat, and it sucks to see, because at the end of the day, they're human beings. They're not just football players; they're human beings.
No, exactly.
And yeah, it kind of sucks to see. I mean, it's nice that we win, but it sucks to see that. Yeah, so yeah, I thought it's an important thing, because people can understand that you can carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, and when things aren't going well, it carries into your everyday life.
It's a massive build-up. Like, you lose a game of footy, you pick yourself up, you get scrutinised, and then you finally get to the game, and you're like, righto, here's our chance. Yep. You believe that you can do it, and then you go out there, you lose again, and then you're walking off. That's the worst feeling, walking off the field when you're like, you've lost a few on the trot or whatever it might be, and you just know that it's coming. Yep. Like, that's what those boys are going through.
Well, you go
now.
through it individually a lot, but you clearly go through it as a team, and it's hard to celebrate little things. It's hard to celebrate little wins. If you're going well individually, it's hard to celebrate that, and you always want to look back throughout your career and make sure you appreciate the times where the good times, and appreciate the times where you're going well, because the body of work that you're putting in and the hard work that you're putting in is showing, and you want to appreciate that times. But when you're going through times as a team where it's not going well for you, it's hard to celebrate that thing, or it's hard to recognise that and give yourself a pat on the back. So hopefully the Essendon fans are listening to us, because we're giving them hopefully a bit of a pump up, because at the end of the day, we're all one big industry, and we're all players at the end of the day, but we're humans first and foremost. So, reaching out to those boys out there.
I do really think that, it sort of annoys me a little bit when you talk about supporters that are getting into their own footy club, their players. Like, there's guys that come to supporters that come to our cafe here, and they're always supporting us. They're always like, it's okay, boys. Like, we know you're trying your best out there. We've spoken about it on this podcast. Yep. They come in, they tell us, we listen to your podcast. Like, keep doing what you're doing. Yep. We trust you can get there. The general support, I like when you're out on Chapel Street, as you was mentioning before, I'll get, just a generic supporter who just supports footy come up and talk about that potty. And, the amount of times I've had, Richmond fans come to me and like kind of bag me in a way, rightfully so. They went on and won 3 flags, a great team. I end up talking to him, and they're you're actually a really good guy, Adam. I really like you. And it's like, well, I'm a human being at the end of the day. I love footy and I play footy, but me as a person is what I value more so as a football player. So, so those fans, the ones that jump on and really ride the players, it's actually a good point. Give them a break. Yeah.
Give them a break.
I think so too.
And for our fans, I think, and I hope it doesn't change, touch wood, I think we have one of the best fan bases out there in terms of when things aren't going well, and we've clearly been through a little bit of a period here, and I've only experienced this year, they're still really supportive. They're really supportive. They get around us. You barely ever see anything negative written from our fans. Not that you go through the comments, but you barely see anything negative written. Well, I don't. I don't know if you've experienced that, because you're giving me this look where it's just like, maybe you've copped it, but I haven't experienced that, which I greatly appreciate.
I mean, there's still a few out there that like to scrutinise.
Instead of it being 1 in 10, it might be 1 in 20 or something, 1 in 30.
Yeah, so but I agree. I think that our supporters are really good. They do get around us. They love us. It's good. No matter what, win or lose, they're always here. Yeah. They're always supporting us over the fence. So it's crucial that.
What about our other favourite competition that's in the world at the moment, the netball?
The netball. Well, it's going pretty well for the Firebirds, isn't it?
Oh, well, it's going well for Adelaide as well.
Adelaide are sort of struggling at the moment, though.
The last couple of games?
Yeah. They won their first 2, and then they lost the next 2 by 1 point.
Yep.
So if they win those, who knows where they're sitting right now. But it's a bit of a hard one because you talk about, we're just talking about teams in form and stuff like that. They're probably feeling it a little bit themselves, like they're not winning games in netball, but I'm sure things will turn around.
How does Tipper go with that?
With the
challenges of like individually, the way the team's going, like does she ride the highs and lows like the way we do?
Like we do? I was just going to say that. Yeah, she does. Like we always talk about it, and I try and be really positive because she's playing some good netball and she's just got to believe in herself, and the team does too. So she does ride the waves of, winning and losing, and, not everyone wants to lose all the time. So, and Adelaide have sort of had that over the past few years, I think, the way that they've never started the year so well compared to this year.
Yep.
But then they've lost the last few.
Yeah.
So they're probably thinking like what it was like last year at the start of the year. So they're just got to pick themselves up and continue doing the things that they're doing. And the Firebirds they're going well, aren't they?
They're flying, mate.
They lost to the Pies last week, which was frustrating for them.
But the Pies are really good. The Pies just knocked off the Vixens. And the Vixens are really good too. So it's a really even competition at the moment. It's very similar. Yeah, it is very similar to the AFL. Right now, there's teams beating teams where...
Well, even Giants beat
Giants
Lightning by 20.
Yeah, yep. And the Lightning good. And Fever even lost, I think, last week. Was it last week they lost? They lost
to Lightning.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's like it's all over the shop, same as footy.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But that's good. Yeah. It's awesome for the game because
I think it is too.
Unpredictability, everyone wants to watch the games and we're big advocates for it, aren't we? We love it.
Well, I'm going to my second game now this Saturday because Kimmy's down in Melbourne playing against the Vixens, which will be a great game. But yeah, they're flying at the moment. They've got a really good team. Kimmy's flying. I'm a little bit disappointed Kimmy didn't make the Diamonds team. I am.
Yeah. I think there's a few people.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a few people that are disappointed. I'm definitely disappointed because, unbiased aside, she's clearly right up there as one of the best centres in the competition and definitely the reigning centre of the she's the reigning centre in the team of the year, which was obviously last year. So and it's hard for me seeing that because I see the hard work that she's put in. I've seen, the fact that obviously she gave birth to Georgie 2 years ago, had to take a year off netball. She was training in the hub. So when we were in the hub in Queensland, there was a little... you probably would have seen it. Have you been... We stayed at the Twin Waters. Collingwood stayed at Twin... Have you been at Twin Waters?
Yeah.
In Maroochydore?
Yeah.
There's a gym there, mate. And I
went there to pick up my brother and you were walking past, gave nothing.
Oh, well, that's not true. That's not true at all.
Yeah, in Mooloolaba.
But have you been to the gym there? The gym would be this big.
Yeah.
And... Obviously, can't say how big the room is, but it's tiny. And she worked her ass off there to get to where she is. And I know she had that little burning desire to want to play and get back to playing her best netball, which I personally think she's playing better than she ever has. And the fact that she didn't get selected, I can see how much it hurts her. It probably hurts me a little bit more because I want her to have that success. And I'd love for Georgie to be able to see her because this year's obviously the Commonwealth Games. Over in Scotland, I think it is. And I reckon it'd be a really cool experience for Georgie. So there is 4 spots left. So fingers crossed that Lara, Tipper and Kim can make those 4 spots.
Well, Lara's going well. She's been playing some really good netball herself. So
you can see the confidence that she has. She's flying.
Yeah,
absolutely
it's good.
Flying.
And she, coming into the season, she had a bit of an injury.
Yeah.
That she was sort of managing at the time. But, has picked herself up and she's going really well. Very...
She's a good story, Lara, right? So she was a training partner when she had the Vixens.
Yeah, for a few years. And then Firebirds hit her up and asked her if she wanted to make the move as a sort of temporary replacement player.
Yeah, yep.
So you're taking a big risk, going up for potentially 12 months. That's it.
Yeah.
And we're all encouraging her because you never know. If she stayed at the Vixens, she's probably still a training partner. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Behind, the Liz Watsons of the world.
Yeah. Well, Liz, you're not going to jump ahead of Liz.
So, she took a big risk and now it's working out for her.
Good on her.
She's happy up there. She loves it. And, they're winning games in netball. So, it's great to see. Well, all the girls are playing some good netball, which is good.
Well, it's good that Lara and Tipper got to come down and
I was just going to
surprise you.
Yeah, they did. Well, so they made huge effort. Obviously, both played on Saturday night, the day before our Sunday game against the Bombers, my 100th. And they travelled down day of the game. Lara travelled back that night, so she flew in at 12:30. She came down the rooms, everything.
Yeah, I've seen, mate.
And then straight after the game, she's gone back to Queensland.
Yeah, I've seen. So when I was typically I walk wherever you go because I just go where you go, and for some reason where we walk the races, you tend to go to the furthest point so we can walk further back. So I followed you, and we actually took a photo with that cup.
Yeah, we did.
A cool little cup. I actually haven't seen that photo.
Yeah, I actually
on socials.
I got it sent.
But anyway, I was walking back because I was like, you were just like talking to everybody. I'm like, mate, we got to get back because the people waiting for us. And I'm walking along the boundary line. I hear these 2 girls screaming my name. And I'm like, who's that? I looked over and it was Lara and Tipper. So I'm glad I've seen them.
Yeah, they were right near the bench.
Oh, they were screaming my name. And I was like,
they were pumped.
They're like saying, stop calling me. And then I seen it was them. And they came down, and then I actually gave.
There it
Oh,
is.
that's great. That's elite.
Andy.
That is elite. And my footy, the footy that you get and you give to people, I found my little crew of people.
Yep.
And it was Mick, Jess, Peter, and Abby. And on the ball, I said to Jess, Jess is obviously my sister-in-law. She comes to the games, all my games, and I said, I want to know if you'd be disappointed if you did this for someone. I said, next time I get the chance, I'll get a ball and I'll give it to you. And I wrote to Jess, thanks for all the support with a love heart. And I called them out and I threw the ball to them. And anyway, left, sang the song, went home, and I said, Jess, where's the ball? She goes, I gave it to the kid next to me. And I was like, did you read it? She goes, no. I was like, wow. So there's a kid out there who's got a ball that says, to Jess, thanks for the support. If you gave that to someone, say you spotted Lara and she gave it to the thing, would you be annoyed at her?
Yeah, probably.
I'm furious.
If she didn't read the ball.
Yeah, Jess didn't read the ball.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
I know.
Well, it's funny because when you talk about throwing the ball, I don't know if we're allowed to throw the balls.
I know. Oh, you launched one. That's right. You launched one.
I went to go up to level 2, like to just throw it up there, and I thought, shoulder's feeling pretty good. Went to throw it, and my shoulder just seized up, mate, and it hit the thing and then bounced back down. Nearly hit someone in the head.
I seen that. You're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, that was funny. Hey, what do you think of my haircut?
Oh, it's not bad. I think it'd still be like a little bit shorter on top.
Do you? You think I should go shorter?
Yep.
Do you think that it looks better now though? Like, say it's a little bit shorter or longer the way it was.
No,
it was so bad long, wasn't it?
It's the old vintage Adam Treloar haircut.
Yeah. If only I was playing like the vintage Adam Treloar, that'd be nice.
Jack's shaking his head over there. I can see him.
I know. Jack's shaking his head.
He thinks you're in career best form, mate.
Mustn't have seen me play much, Jack. Jack, we got to give him, Jack and Ritz, who obviously produce the show and do a bit for us. They travel down from Ballarat to come and do this for us, and they actually go to all our games. So Jack is a Richmond fan, and Ritz, actually, we don't know who Ritz goes for. Goes for the Pies.
There you go.
So the boys are now clearly switched teams, and they support the Bulldogs and just clearly watch our games.
Well, they talk about us like they watch us, just us as a combo, and see what we do, off ball and things like that. So it's good. And
Jack actually has his own potty. You got to make sure you get out there and have a listen. It's How They Train podcast. For our listeners, it's a great potty. There's a couple of good episodes there. But no, I also wanted to touch on the basketball as well. We haven't spoken about the basketball, and we're in playoff time. And your bet
NBA
and your bet
NBL?
that you have. Both.
Well, the NBL finished last night for the Melbourne United team.
You went to the game, didn't you?
I went there, yeah. It was actually an incredible game.
Yeah.
The Tassie Jack Jumpers played some good basketball and took it right up to them. They make it a bit of a scrap, which is cool.
Who, the Jack Jumpers?
Yeah, because it makes you want to earn the win a little bit more. The first game I went to, the game 1 in Melbourne, and mate, if you went to that, you would have thought, United are going to win the next one easy.
Yep.
But they must have gone to Tassie. I didn't watch that game. They went to Tassie, and sure enough,
came back and won.
Yeah,
was it a hostile environment for them too? Were there many Tassie?
Mate, there was heaps of Tassie people.
I seen there were AFL Tassie boys like Brody Mychek.
Yep.
Jack Rewalt was there. Ryan Gardner said he was going to fly down to Tassie and watch them play.
Really?
No, he's not going to do that. But he said I might jump on the bandwagon to do it.
He should do it. That'd be funny.
That would be funny. But it's crazy. It's crazy that you can be in the league for 1 year.
It's an awesome story.
It is. Because there's been so many. I was saying this before to the other boys. There's been so many teams that have, like the Gold Coast Blaze is a team that I think about straight away, that have tried to, enter the league, become a team, and then after 3, 4, 5, 6 years, they end up folding, and it's probably more so of a reflection of where they're based and making the money. You just hope that off the back of this, that they can sustain that and then be a team and just be in the league.
Well, you know what someone was talking about last night at the game is the basketball franchises work so well. Why wouldn't a footy one work?
Yeah.
So maybe
I know.
it's the start that the AFL world need.
I know plenty of Tasmanian boys that would love to play down in Tassie.
Yeah.
Would you support a Tassie team?
Well, me personally.
Yeah.
No.
Would you? No, I'm saying just to enter our league.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not saying to go down there and play unless you're talking to some Tassie teams, are you?
I thought you were saying, would you support a Tassie team like I'm playing here?
No. I'm saying, would you support a Tassie team coming into the league?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, for sure.
Same. I would too.
I'd love
that. I'd love Northern Territory.
NT would be cool.
See, they have a I'm not sure if they're actually in that comp anymore, are they? So the Northern Territory team used to be in the NEFL equivalent, which is like the Queensland team.
Yeah, I don't think they are.
Nah, so they obviously used to be a part of that. When I was in Sydney, we used to play in the NEFL.
Yep.
And in our first league there, when I first moved up there, we played in the NEFL all year. And they had a lot of I guess they're not local teams, but they had a lot of teams that clearly weren't up to the level in Canberra and Sydney and Brisbane. But the Brizzy Reserves, Sydney Reserves, Gold Coast Reserves, they were always clearly good because they had AFL listed players. But NT had a team and used to play up there 7:30 at night, but it's like the humidity is like 35 degrees. The ball's just slipping off you. And I just thought, wow, these guys are incredible. Incredible.
Did you see the scoreline of the Port Adelaide and Saints game?
I did, yeah.
And how slippery it was. Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it, nah.
I chucked it on in the last quarter, and mate, same thing, because that was in Cairns.
You've played there, haven't you?
I've played there. That is one of the hottest places I've ever been.
Is it?
To. Oh,
so
humidity.
Regardless of the time, you got to prepare for a wet weather game, pretty much.
Yep.
Because the ball's just sliding off you.
But it's even worse than wet weather, because you can't even get. I don't know what it is, because the ground is dry. Yep. It's just the ball that's slippery.
Yeah.
So, like, you think you've got the ball, and then all of a sudden, like, it's gone.
The only thing I could really compare that to in the AFL here is when you're playing Brizzy. Sometimes. It's not always like that. Sometimes at night when you play up there, you play in the humidity. During the hub years when we played, and
it was hot
that went like October, like September, October, they were playing home games at the Gabba, and that was like wet weather footy. But anyway, the NBA, your bet, you still back in Philly?
I'm nervous now because Joel Embiid's out for a couple of games.
I reckon he'll play the next one now that they've lost the first one.
He has to. If he doesn't play, they're gone. They're gone. And they're playing Miami, who's...
Well, I picked Miami. You go back to the very first episode of the potty, Jack's shaking his head and Ritz.
They always shake their head
in acknowledgement, they are. Shaking their heads in acknowledgement. I picked Miami, so I hope they get up. Just so I can say I told you so.
Yeah, I hope.
I don't get much right, but if that happens, I'll say I told you so.
You don't get much right?
I actually don't, no.
Yeah, you do.
No, not really.
You're always right, mate.
Oh, in my opinion, I'm like, yep, I'm always right. Factually, no, if that's even a word.
Factually.
Is that a word?
Do you want to spell it?
F-A-C-T. I actually don't know. I know how to spell.
We've done it.
U-A-L-L-Y. U-A-L-L-Y. I got it.
We did a bit of a spelling bee, which was going to drop on the YouTube channel soon. As he got asked to spell a certain word, it was probably one of the easiest words I've ever seen. Boy, as in the boy in the water, as in a floating boy, and he just made it.
How do you know?
Because we did it the other day.
No, I'm disappointed, mate. Disappointed I couldn't spell it. When Ritz said the word, he gave me the hard ones. Have you seen? Gave me the hard ones. Give him the easy ones. Have you seen? What's the Big Daddy when he says that they're doing the spelling bee? You wouldn't have seen that. You don't know movies.
Wouldn't know.
Do you know who Adam Sandler is?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, I do. Adam Sandler's on. Is he on?
I did just say his movie.
Hey.
I did just say the movie.
Oh, I didn't listen to you.
Oh, that's what you normally do.
What's he on? Is he on the...
No, what's he on?
No. I'm going to guess. This could be bad. Sandlot? Nah. No, he's on Happy Gilmore.
Yes.
Thank you.
Did you guys just mouth Happy Gilmore?
No.
Wow.
What's Sandlot about?
Sandlot's about kids playing...
and the dog?
Baseball, I think.
And it hits over the fence and the dog's there.
Yeah. I haven't done a Celebrity Who I Am for you in a while.
Now I've just brought that back, haven't I?
Well, I'd love to get it back going again.
Well, we can do your segment, the Who Am I?
Oh yeah, do it. Let's go. Last week, Naughty. Whenever we did the last one, Naughty answered it.
Yeah, he was good.
He was good.
This is a good one.
Do you reckon I'll get it?
I reckon you'll get it easy.
Oh, okay, here we go.
I played AFL for 16 years. I'm a one club player.
Oh,
I was a captain for 8 years of this club.
I've got one name.
Go.
No, I don't want to get it wrong.
No, just go. Just have a guess. That's only 3 lines. That's pretty good.
No, it's more than that. No, I've got the wrong guy.
I'm an 8-time leading goal kicker.
Oh, clearly got the wrong guy. Thank God. I reckon I've got someone. Matthew Lloyd?
No.
Okay, keep going.
I don't want to say the next one because that's going to give it away.
Who?
I'll say this one. I played in one grand final and was a part of a losing team.
Oh, don't give anything away. Do you know it? You don't answer it, Jake. But why didn't you want to give the obvious clue away?
Because
It's obvious. Do you know this guy?
Yeah.
Would you have known this guy if I asked these questions without you knowing the actual guy?
Yes.
No, you wouldn't. Give me a spell. You
No.
didn't even know who Scott Wind was, and he won a Brownlow for the Footy Club.
No, mate, you would know this person. As soon as I say this, you'll get it. I wore the number 29.
Gary Ablett.
Leading goal kicker. Played AFL for 16 years.
I wore the number 29. The only famous 29 I know is Gary Ablett.
Yeah, there's one other you would know.
Oh, no. Is it not Boomer?
No,
Brent Harvey, he wore 29 too, didn't he?
he didn't play in a grand final, though.
Yeah, he played in two. He won 2 flags. 96, 99. Mate, you actually know this guy.
Jack's got it.
You got it.
And Ritz.
And he wore the number 29.
He retired in 2016.
And he played
We played him in their last game. In his last game.
Oh, and he lost in it.
No, they beat us in 2016.
They beat you in Freo. Oh, my gosh. Pavlich.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You had me stumped there big time.
That's a good one.
That's an L.
I thought you were going to get that.
That's an L to me. Yeah, but 29, the first one I thought it was Gaza. But then I'm thinking, yeah, the losing granny was against Hawthorn 2-13.
Yeah, losing. That's what
I'm so disappointed. Oh, man, I'm so disappointed. You know what else I'm disappointed in? Is that charity, that Hoops charity, the Nike event that they do.
Oh, that was on Sunday.
My record of 383
Did it get beaten?
was beaten.
By who?
I'm not sure. I think he's a player at Melbourne United. I think he's 392 or something. He beat me by 9.
You're kidding.
I'm flat. And I feel like I'm really shooting the ball really well at the
So
moment.
he got 400.
Hey?
Did he get 400?
392. What are you laughing at, Jake?
You're shooting the ball well.
I feel like I'm shooting the ball really well at the moment in my backyard.
Yeah. You got it in the new court.
No, I'm just saying I'm disappointed. Like, I don't get to go and redeem myself. I'd love to have another crack at that.
Okay. Fair enough.
Can we, oh, no, we'll do. I'll go buy a rack of balls. You can stand underneath the hoop. We'll go to my backyard, and I'll just shoot for 15 minutes. You feed me the ball?
Yeah, okay. That'd be a standard thing that we do. You just do you do all the fun stuff, and I'll just do all the dirty work.
Hey, you didn't have to do the dirty work on the weekend because
Yes,
you were
I
playing
did.
forward.
No, I still had to do
No,
the
when it
dirty
came
work.
to me,
Oh,
you didn't have to worry about giving me the footy because you were playing forward.
yeah, you gave the ball to me. Did you give it to me on the weekend?
No, I think you gave me one handball though.
I did. We're going inside 50.
Yeah, we were. Oh, what about?
I would love to know the count of how many times I've given it to you versus how many times you've given it to me.
We obviously know it's clearly in your favour.
Why?
Oh, because you've given it way more than what I've given it to you.
I said to you, remember I said to you pre-game on the weekend, if you see me one-on-one, kick it to me?
I didn't see you. I seen you one-on-one on a good. It was funny. It was a great lead. It's actually pretty funny. You were leading out of the goal square thinking you're Tony Lockett. Straight underneath the ball goes by. I just remember your eyes lit up.
Bonte kicked it to me.
Yeah, but I think the kick was a little bit too high.
I was like, I'm
in fairness to you,
mate, I haven't been in that position for a long
mate,
period of time.
it was a genuine one-on-one out of the goal square. You have just led, and you had Laverde gone. The ball just went straight over your head. It was Jaden Laverde that was on you. I remember thinking, because I'm like, wow, his eyes have just lit up here. He's about to take a mark. In your mind, you're thinking you're Tony Lockett running out of the goal square.
Yeah, well, you got to change your perception, mate.
Yeah, I know. No, but I wanted to say before we lose touch with the NBA, we were going to try and get Josh Giddey to do a thing, but he was highly sought after.
Well, I saw him last night at the basketball. He apologised. He really wanted to come on.
Oh no.
He even said if we could get a Zoom going, that he'd probably jump on that. So
we will. We'll do something. But we wanted to do a little shooting contest with him.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Disappointed we weren't able to do that, but he's a busy man. Pretty cool of him to be able to still reach out and you said that he spoke to you yesterday and go out of his way to talk to you. That's really nice of him.
Yeah, well, he seems like a really level-headed type of guy. You've known him for quite a while. I haven't really known him as much as what you have.
Yep.
But yeah, at the basketball, I've never met him before. He shook my hand, said g'day, and started talking about the potty and stuff.
Did people know who he was there?
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, because we had this discussion the other day when we were driving to Ballarat about how I feel like if an NBA player were to come down here, so Josh Giddey being an example, he wouldn't get as recognised as what the AFL players would, unless they're at like a sporting event. So
you compared yourself and him.
Oh my
Did you not?
gosh. No, I said if you and me were walking through Southland Shopping Centre, have a look at his red face because you know he's lying.
Yes.
We have caught him out lying.
We've caught you out.
No, I'm not lying.
You said if me and Josh Giddey were walking through Southland Shopping Centre, people would recognise me more than him.
Well, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, they'd come over and think I'm Jordan Ngoe because I look like Jordan Ngoe.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
But anyway, point being is you're a dog. No,
yes.
we were going to say that rookie. He didn't even get a vote for Rookie of the Year either.
We did talk about that too. That was after we spoke about you versus him in Southland Shopping Centre.
I wish I did have a shooting contest with him. I'd love to have a shooting contest with Joshy.
Yeah.
Both Joshies. I'd love to have a one-on-one game of basketball against you, but we actually did have one. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah, we'll see who wins.
And then we went out on the street and played cricket.
Yeah. Black and white, isn't it?
It is, mate. We're waiting for the viewers to see. But no, he should have got a vote in Rookie of the Year. What a joke.
I agree. And I think they just, I said to you, they just wipe him out of it because he didn't finish the season.
Yep.
So it's like.
Do you know, have I told you who, I would have told you that, so who, in the NBA, who's the player that frustrates me the most? Who do I dislike the most in the NBA? As a player, come on, man. You always get stuck into me about him.
I know who it is.
Oh, he doesn't know
Trey
him by
Easy.
name. Yeah, Trey Easy, Trey Young.
Trey
Superstar,
Young.
he's a star, don't get me wrong, but I just can't stand the way he carries on. There's someone that has officially jumped him.
Oh, you told me the other day.
He plays for Memphis.
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant. And again, he's a superstar. He's probably going to be the best player in the league at one stage, but he frustrates the heck out of me.
Why?
Because he carries on, mate.
What do you mean?
He carries on that much about, say people do want to say a bit of personality, but could you imagine if, say we've lost the game, say we've gone and lost to whoever, Adelaide last week, and so I don't get into it, but then we win the following week against Essendon, and they're interviewing me off the walking down the race or whatever it may be, and I'm saying, all those fans out there that jumped off the Bulldogs bandwagon, you stay on that side, don't get off the bull. Like if I did that, wouldn't you look at me and go, "What are you doing, Adam, you dickhead?"
Yeah, probably.
You would. You would do that. Well, that's what he was doing, and I'm like, I'm sick of it.
So he's on your bad list.
Him and Trey Easy, yep.
What about Marcus Smart?
Oh, I love him.
Think he's good?
Yeah, but I think
Pat
he's
Beverley?
a star. Yeah, star. But they don't carry on. You know what? It's hard to argue in Pat Beverley's defense because in his defense, because he does carry on and it is frustrating. But I just love him for some reason.
Yeah. See,
I'm contradicting myself a little bit there.
If I was going to say who I didn't like more, it'd probably be him.
Pat Beverley.
Yeah, because it's a bit annoying.
Yeah, fair.
Whereas the other stuff, I don't really care about the other stuff.
So if Ja Morant walks off and talks about how good he is,
Yeah, that's like you.
right, right. I always talk about how good I am. Yeah,
Nah, not really. No, you don't, mate. You always bag yourself out.
I do that, mate.
How are you feeling? 7 rounds in.
About what, the season?
Yeah, footy, life. How's it all going for you?
Yeah, season ebbs and flows, mate. As you know, I do get pretty frustrated a lot. Yeah, like you kind of ride the highs and lows with it. Like I get frustrated that we don't win, and I'm at an age and time in my footy career where, well, that's clearly all I care about is I just want to win and I want to make the most of where we're at as a footy team. So I get frustrated a bit. I'm a little bit frustrated with how I'm playing at the moment. I just get, I get annoyed at myself, after the game more so than anything. I guess it's just because I have such a high expectation of how I want to play and just what, my output, I guess. And I just feel like it's been a little bit inconsistent at the moment, which is really frustrating for me. Because then you always then, look at, what am I not doing well? What am I, what do I need to do more of? And quite often it's, you need to do less. And, well, don't need to do more of, because then you end up mentally just really frying yourself, and that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Like, I feel like I'm playing I'm just being inconsistent at the moment, which is frustrating me a little bit. I know that you probably have a different perception. I know my teammates have a little bit of a different perception, but that's just the expectation that I put on myself.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day, and it just came to my mind. Remember how I was telling you about that video that people keep sending me of you and Mark Bagley?
Oh, yeah.
On
wrestling him.
Anzac Day, and we were talking about the physicality in your game and what it used to be. You said what it used to be like.
Yeah.
Is that something that you want to bring more of, or not really?
Oh, no, absolutely. I feel like I play my best footy off the back of how in terms of footy talk, how I bring my pressure, my best footy off the back of the pressure that I bring, and, you know, my repeat effort around the footy. And that has been inconsistent, which is frustrating. And I think on the weekend, it was probably my best game in terms of that.
Absolutely.
In terms of my pressure around the ball and whatnot. Would I like to do that a lot more? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I definitely would. And, you know, I take great motivation from my teammates seeing that. Well, you clearly are the poster boy for it. Libba is another one in our team who brings it every week. Nader and Bond, we all do it. I'd like to consistently do it a little bit more.
It is hard, though. It is hard to go from, like we always talk about, your off-field self, then to cross that white line and become, I don't know, like a different person on the field.
Like
where
a prick,
Yeah, a prick. And people don't like you. But it helps. Yeah. It helps you individually play better footy because you're playing on the edge all the time.
Yeah, well, I don't worry about the people not liking me, because there's people that don't like me anyway.
Yeah.
The way that I am as a footballer, which doesn't faze me. But no, it is actually a good question that you asked, because it is something that I would like to consistently do more. But you know, I'm always never satisfied. Yeah, that makes sense.
Me too.
And I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, me too.
But your output has clearly been far bigger than what my output's been.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Jack actually went and said that is the best game he's ever seen you play.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's the best game I've ever played.
You take that as a positive or a negative?
He probably hasn't watched me because he's been a Richmond supporter over the years. But no, I'm feeling confident. I mean, it was a bit of a different role for me on the weekend against the Bombers, and yeah, I just wanted to embrace it. As I always talk about, I'll play any role for the team to win. That's where we're similar, man. We do things that no one would even know what we're doing on field and for the team. So for me, that was a focus on the weekend, and just to enjoy it, because it was a milestone of mine, and just to have fun and hopefully get the win. And sure enough, we were able to play pretty well. So,
but how are you going though with that? Clearly, also, how are you going with changing roles, having to change roles and play different positions, plus all the other stuff that's going on with you at the moment?
I try and keep things pretty simple. Like, my role over the first few rounds was very simple. It was more midfield stuff, and obviously on the weekend I played a little bit more forward and working with Bont and guys like that. So yeah, I as I mentioned, I embrace it. I try and do little things that'll help me. Like today, you know, I sat in with Matty Spanger for the first time all year.
He's our forwards coach.
He's our forwards coach, and I'm just talking to him. I did some stuff with Webby, but not much. So it was a bit different for me, for like upon review. But yeah, it doesn't really change too much in terms of my preparation and stuff, and what my strengths that I bring, like my tackling and stuff, is what I want to do every week.
Yeah.
No matter where I'm playing, whether it's back, mid, forward, wing, ruck, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So
ruck. I love how you just mentioned ruck.
Well, I do play in the ruck every now and then.
I know. It's just
funny.
I
got to hit out to advantage.
When?
Against
North
that's
Melbourne.
Right,
yeah. Was that on the boundary line?
Yeah, that's Goldstein. Right. So I'm pretty happy with that.
So you thought you were Tony Lockett 1 week leading out of the goal square, leading into Aaron Southland, sitting it down to someone. Do you know who they are?
Yes, I do. It sort of brought back the third man up days when how good they were.
Remember how we had a chat about that? I would love the third man up to be back.
Well, it's something that they want the game to be fast and free.
Opened up, yeah.
The third man up was a perfect thing to just knock it out into space and then fasten the game up a little bit.
I think it's to protect the ruckman.
I know why.
Because the old knees in the ribs. And can you imagine how much Maxi Gorman would be targeted? Because he's that good of a footy player.
Yeah, I got Sanderlands.
Did you?
Once, accidentally. of course.
I'm surprised it didn't hurt your knee because that guy, I just
He's
remember
massive, mate.
he was huge and you'd touch him and he'd be like, you'd hurt yourself trying to hurt him.
Yeah, exactly. But no, life's good. Life's going well. Obviously, with Tipper in Adelaide, she came over on the weekend. I get to see her most of the time, so it's pretty good. How's your family, mate? All good?
Yeah, good. What about we've been talking about this and you just mentioned Tipper, holidays, post footy.
We did talk about
Now
that.
that we can,
We talked about that on the way to the game.
yeah. Now
on
that we
Sunday.
can, barring any more COVID outbreaks, now that we're
Travel.
clear, are you going to think of go somewhere?
Yeah.
And if you do, where are you going to go?
I'm not going to tell you because you'll probably come.
No. Just so all the Josh Dunkley fans out there can find out where he's going. And
I've thought about it a little bit. I do want to go somewhere warm, but I also really want to go to Canada. Somewhere cold, snow.
Yep.
I think that's really nice. So that's appealing to me.
where's the warm?
The warm's like, Europe's not that warm that time of year. Even the Greek islands, like it'd be nice. It'd be very good.
Somewhere extravagant.
What did I tell you about the other day?
Oh, you wanted to go to? It was some tropical island.
LeBron's just been there.
Barbados. Where was it?
No,
Yeah, I know. I remember. You got to remind me.
he went to the what's it called?
Somewhere extravagant where
I took a screenshot of it because it was like he hired out the whole island.
Yeah, I seen it was on his socials.
Yeah, it was
but
on his socials.
Wasn't it Barbados?
No, the Maldives
That's right.
or Maldives or whatever.
Maldives, whatever you want to call it.
It's Maldives, isn't it? I think it's Maldives.
I love how we always look at Jack because we think he's got all the answers.
And Ritz.
Ritz is over there. And he's just
We
sitting there just
should look at Ritz probably, not Jack.
we got to do a potty with these two on there at one time.
Yeah, we should. We should.
We work behind the work. But no, we'll go on a holiday together, won't we?
Yeah, I think so. We'd planned one last year, remember? Go up to
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, we'll do one
To the
together.
Goldie?
Make sure we do it.
Yeah, okay. But you got post-season surgery last year, so you couldn't do it.
Yeah. But I'll need to make sure there's a gym there. I need to make sure there's stuff where we can work out together at 6 a.m.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's where you're just a bit crazier than me, mate.
Why? Because I like being just fit in general.
I just want to see you put on like 2 or 3 kilos and just let yourself down a little bit.
Oh, actually, what did you say to me today?
He was spewing at this today in the gym. We were doing upper body weight, so he looked a bit swell. And I said to him, you should have seen his face. I was like, oh, geez, you look a bit like bigger today. Like, what are you done? And his face just dropped.
No,
Yes, it did.
mate.
And you were like, oh, I've had a couple of shit days on the food, and I've been eating this and that, and drinking this, and I've had a couple of bad days.
Well, I didn't do that. No, I didn't do that.
Yes, you did.
No, I did.
You did so.
Because at the same time, he goes, "Oh, but you're looking veiny."
No. He said to me straight after, oh, but am I looking still veiny? Like, I was like, yeah.
It was Jordan Sweet too. He goes, "Oh, you still looking veiny?" He was like, "Oh, good, I'm fine then, mate."
Oh, yeah, I'm really happy with this pod today. I reckon it's been the best one because you've been put on the spot a couple of times. That's my aim.
That's all right, as long as you're not put on the spot anymore. Because I know you bitch and complain a little bit afterwards about, "Oh, why'd you put me on the spot like that?"
Never do I do that.
No, but it's been good, mate.
It's been a good one.
It's been
Artie.
good. It's been good considering Artie ditched us.
Exactly. Artie missed out on a bit of fun, but yeah, as we mentioned, we're probably going to do these at least every fortnight, one, and we'll try and pump out some video content on the YouTube channel. So if you're on YouTube, follow us, give us a like, whatever it might be, comment, let us know, give some feedback.
And a reminder to send through some ideas.
Yeah,
Send through some
exactly.
ideas because
What do you want to see?
Yeah, what do you
as
want to see?
listeners and viewers?
Because me being the amateur that I am, I went out and bought a camera from JB Hi-Fi. So you and I are going to potentially do some of our own filming and let the geniuses over here fix it up and make it look really good. But
Well, personally, I think that when the boys film it, it looks better.
I do too.
Because I've seen some of Robbo's stuff from Brisbane.
Yeah.
He wears a GoPro and it's really cool access.
Yeah.
But I think when you actually get filmed by someone.
when it's a different person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just clearer what you can see. But it's not like I'm going to grab the camera and go like this. Like, how you going? Like, I'm not going to do that.
Well, you do. You send me Snapchats all the time.
Never. No, I never do that. Remember we had that Snapchat streak and
Yeah.
you broke it?
You broke it.
So he's filthy about that because we broke a Snapchat streak.
Oh,
Anyway,
Holy doors.
we'll end it there.
Thanks,
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thank you.